Where do we see one of the greatest opportunities for tens, if not hundreds of millions of people to be lifted out of poverty alongside what has already been some of the best investment opportunities in equity and fixed income markets? With a 220% return in equity index and an 86% return in its local currency bond index over the last decade, the transformation of India's economy has already driven some very strong performance. In this video, we explain why we remain very positive about the country's future. There undoubtedly remain many challenges ahead, but the changes we have observed over the last decade demonstrate that India has an ability and willingness to find solutions to big problems. The list of reforms is long, and we explore these in more detail in a separate video, encompassing a transition in everything from the government itself, tax and monetary policy, foreign investment, the banking system, and the deployment of technology. These have not been easy to implement, but together they have enabled India to become more efficient, more competitive, reduce corruption, create opportunities through rising wealth, open up the economy to greater amounts of foreign direct and portfolio investment, and position itself to be a key winner in the fragile global political landscape. Alongside these reforms, the country is blessed with favorable demographics. The average age of the population is only 28 years old and increasingly better educated. Per capita incomes have trebled in the last 2 decades, rapidly creating a rising middle class. Infant mortality has declined, while other key socioeconomic indicators have all improved. Now, there is a long way to go, but this suggests that the broad thrust of policy is moving in the right direction. In addition, India is better protected against global shocks. Unlike many other emerging economies, the government doesn't issue foreign currency debt, so external debt is low, at less than 20% of GDP. Meanwhile, its foreign exchange reserves are high, at around $600 billion. That's roughly the 6th highest in the world, and these serve as an important buffer. Policy in the last decade has been prudent, aimed at improving tax revenues alongside a reinforced central bank that now has an inflation-targeting mandate. As countries and companies reassess a fragile geopolitical landscape, India looks well positioned to be a key beneficiary, with the opening of the economy perfectly timed to attract record amounts of foreign direct investment. Capping off these transformations has been a reform of its capital markets. While more familiar with its equity market, foreigners have had very little exposure to the stellar performance of its bond market. India's bond market today is more accessible to foreign investors than ever before, so much so that it has been announced that Indian bonds will begin to be added to key global bond indices from 2024. Yet, foreign investors currently own less than 2% of the domestic market. India has a tremendous amount of potential, and with it, investment opportunities. Many thanks for watching, and see you next time.